evening and a very warm welcome to the news on Sansad TV. I'm Isha Shah. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll cover all the top developments of the day, from the ongoing winter session of Parliament, wartime President Zelensky's visit to the United States, and measures being taken to tackle the rising threat of COVID. All this and more, let's get started with the headlines. Prime Minister Modi chairs high-level meeting to review COVID situation in the country. Union Health Minister makes statement in Parliament, urges caution and strict adherence to safety protocols. Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar and Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla appeal to members to follow COVID-appropriate behavior, stress that COVID situation in many countries is alarming. Leaders across political spectrum should not subject high constitutional officers to partisan stances, asserts Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar, calls UPA chairperson's remarks on judiciary severely inappropriate. 17th round of high-level military talks between India and China held on 20th of December. Both sides agree to find mutually acceptable solutions to resolve issues in areas adjacent to LAC. And India dismissed Bangladesh for 227 runs in Mirpur Test and the first day of play at 19 runs without losing a wicket. Let's take a look now at our Flash News segment. India votes in favor of a UNSC resolution on the mental health of UN peacekeepers. Ambassador Ruchira Kamboj says India places the highest importance on the safety and well-being of UN peacekeepers. Government asks airport operators to redesign systems to facilitate hassle-free travel for air passengers during peak hours. India's textile and apparel exports, including handicrafts, grow by 41% to reach $44 billion, says Minister of State for Textiles, Darshana Jardosh. Supreme Court directs a 3-member IPS officers panel to probe misuse of National Rural Health Mission funds in Nagaland. Centre urges states to raise awareness on cervical cancer and importance of HPV vaccine. Cold wave continues in North India. Dense fog grips Indo-Gangetic plains, including Delhi, Haryana and Punjab. Government blocked 104 YouTube channels and 45 YouTube videos for providing false and misleading information, INB Minister Anurag Thakur tells Rajya Sabha. Israeli Prime Minister designate Benjamin Netanyahu secures deal to form new government with far-right coalition partners. Former Russian Deputy Prime Minister Dmitry Rogozin injured in shelling in Russian-controlled area of eastern Ukraine. And major winter storm to sweep United States this week may bring the coldest Christmas in 4 decades in many places. Our top story today is from the ongoing winter session of Parliament. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia on Thursday said the COVID pandemic is not yet over. He also cautioned that the coronavirus is mutating frequently, which is why everyone should follow safety protocols without fail. The Health Minister made a statement in both the Houses of Parliament. He said an increasing trend in COVID cases was indicated in recent months. Mandavia said that in view of festivals and the New Year, states have been advised to raise awareness about COVID protocol. He also said the process of random RT-PCR test of 2% of passengers coming in from abroad at international airports has been started. Let's listen in.
जब से कोविड चालू हुआ, फर्स्ट सेकंड वेव और थर्ड वेव, अभी थर्ड सर्ज वेव तो नहीं था, हमने कभी कोविड क्राइसिस पर पॉलिटिक्स नहीं किया था और नहीं हम करना चाहते हैं। और आज हम तैयार हैं आने वाले दिनों में। आज एक्सपर्ट कमेटी ने उसको अनुमोदित कर दिया है, नेशनल वैक्सीन को, वो भी आ जाएगा। तो उसमें कोई इंजेक्शन लेना नहीं है, नोज में ड्रॉप डाल देना है, आप सिक्योर हो गए। ये भी भारतीय साइंटिस्ट लोगों ने विकसित कर दिया है। ये हमारे साइंटिस्ट की उपलब्धि है। कहने का मतलब ये है कि कोविड के सामने लड़ने के लिए पूरी तैयारी हमने की है, लेकिन भी ये वायरस बार बार म्यूटेट होता रहता है, अपना स्वरूप बदलता रहता है। हम सब लोगों की जिम्मेवारी, हम नहीं कहते कि हमने ही सब कुछ कर दिया, हम कहते हैं कि सब लोगों ने साथ में मिलकर किया है। और आने वाले दिनों में भी एक क्राइसिस आगे बढ़े तो सारा देश एक होके फर्स्ट और सेकंड वेव का जैसा सामना किया है वैसा सामना कर सके, इसलिए पूरी तैयारी भारत की सरकार की ओर से हमने कर लिया है।
Now, Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar on Thursday expressed concern over the increase of cases of coronavirus infection in many countries. He asked members to wear masks, follow COVID-appropriate behavior, and take extra precautions. Calling the COVID situation worrying in the presence of Prime Minister Modi, who was wearing a mask in the upper house, the chairman said members of parliament have to set an example before the people. The chairman also informed that over 2 billion doses of the COVID vaccine have been provided free of cost to the people. He added that members should compulsorily use the masks and sanitizers that are available in Parliament House. Let's take a look.
I urge all the honorable members to be extra cautious about the surging COVID cases in the world. It is our ardent duty to set example before our countrymen. India had overcome the challenges of COVID in the past due to coordinated efforts of administration, doctors, healthcare professionals, and sanitation workers. We had administered over 2 billion doses of free COVID vaccine in record time. This is unparalleled in the world. Not only that, we have digitally recorded and issued certificates to all those vaccinated. Again, another unparalleled example in the world for its scale, size, and speed. Honorable members, currently situation of COVID is getting alarming. We need to be vigilant and take all precautionary steps, including wearing masks, use of sanitizers, and social distancing. I urge all of you, wear masks inside the house as well. We have made masks available to all of you. Once again, I request you that we need to join hands and lead the nation by example.
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla also drew the attention of the lower house to the resurgence of COVID-19 in some countries. He emphasized the need for constant vigilance and caution in view of past experiences. He said that the government has taken prompt steps and advised the necessary safety measures. The Lok Sabha chairman said everyone should use masks. He also urged members to raise public awareness on the latest developments.
मैं आपका ध्यान विश्व के कतिपय देशों में कोविड-19 महामारी के पुनः सक्रिय होने की ओर आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। कोविड-19 के पिछले अनुभवों को देखते हुए हमें निरंतर सतर्कता और सावधानी रखने की आवश्यकता है। सरकार ने भी तत्परता से कदम उठाते हुए पूरे देश को कोविड-19 से संबंधित आवश्यक सुरक्षा उपायों के पालन करने की सलाह दी है। मेरा आप सभी माननीय सदस्यों आग्रह है, हम सभी उन सुरक्षा उपायों का पालन करें, मास्क का प्रयोग करें तथा इस संबंध में जन जागरूकता फैलाने में अपना योगदान दें। मेरा विश्वास है, जैसे हमारे देश ने पहले भी सामूहिक प्रयासों से कोविड-19 पर विजय प्राप्त की थी, हम आगे भी उसी प्रकार से इस महामारी को रोकने में सफलता प्राप्त करेंगे।
All right, now Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar on Thursday termed remarks made by UPA chairperson Sonia Gandhi on the judiciary as inappropriate. The chairman urged political leaders not to subject high constitutional officers to partisan stances. Let's listen in.
Honorable members, my attention has been drawn to a statement imparted by the Honorable Chairperson of the UPA on December 21, 2022, mentioning, I quote, "A troubling new development is the calculated attempt underway to delegitimize the judiciary. Ministers and even a high constitutional authority have been enlisted to making speeches attacking the judiciary on various grounds," unquote. The observations are severely inappropriate, indicating lack of faith in democracy, making this exceptional response unavoidable. The statement imparted by the Honorable Chairperson of the UPA is far distanced from my reflections. Delegitimizing the judiciary is beyond my contemplation. It is pillar of democracy. I would urge and expect leaders across the political spectrum to bear in mind not to subject high constitutional officers to partisan stances.
Now, Parliament passed the Constitution Scheduled Tribes Order 4th Amendment Bill and the Constitution Scheduled Tribes Order 2nd Amendment Bill 2022. The Rajya Sabha approved the Constitution Scheduled Tribes Order 2nd Amendment Bill 2022 with provision to include 2 castes of Tamil Nadu in the list of scheduled tribes. There is a provision to include the Nari Kurvar and Kuru Vikaran hill tribes of Tamil Nadu in the list of scheduled tribes. Lok Sabha passed the bill last week. The upper house also approved by voice vote the Constitution Scheduled Tribes Order 4th Amendment Bill 2022 with a provision to include Kadu Kuruba and Beta Kuruba communities of Karnataka in the list of scheduled tribes. In the Lok Sabha, opposition parties including the Congress, DMK and NCP demanded a discussion on the border issue with China. Their protests on the issue led to 4 adjournments. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal introduced the Jan Vishwas Bill that seeks to decriminalize minor offences by amending 183 provisions in 42 acts with a view to promote ease of business. The House referred the bill to a joint committee of both the Houses of Parliament for consideration. Now, Prime Minister Modi on Thursday reviewed the COVID situation in the country at a high-level meeting. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia, Home Minister Amit Shah, Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia and senior officials attended the meeting. On Wednesday, the Union Health Minister had asked people to follow COVID-appropriate behaviour, including wearing masks in crowded places and getting vaccinated. The government has highlighted that the cases of COVID are rising in China, Japan, South Korea, France and America. Moving on now, India and China held the 17th round of high-level military talks on the 20th of December to resolve issues related to Eastern Ladakh. A joint statement said the talks were frank and in-depth, in line with the guidance provided by the leaders of both the countries to work for an early resolution of outstanding issues. The two sides exchanged views in an open and constructive manner on the relevant issues in areas along the line of actual control in the Western sector. Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said Let's listen in.
Keeping in line with the guidance provided by the state leaders to work for the resolution of the remaining issues at the earliest, which would help in restoration of peace and tranquility along the LAC in the western sector and enable progress in bilateral relations. In the interim, the two sides agreed to maintain the security and stability on the ground in the western sector. The two sides agreed to stay in close contact and maintain dialogue through military and diplomatic channels and work out a mutually acceptable resolution of the remaining issues at the earliest.
Meanwhile, dense fog enveloped the Gangetic Plains, including Delhi, affecting road and rail traffic. Many trains are running behind schedule. Visibility at Palam and Safdarjung airports was recorded at 200 meters at 5:30 a.m. The visibility level had gone up to 50 meters at both these places on Tuesday. Due to low temperatures, high humidity and steady winds, dense to very dense fog has persisted over Punjab, Haryana, northwest Rajasthan, west and east Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Satellite images showed a dense fog from Punjab and northwest Rajasthan to Bihar. Chillai Kalan, the 40-day period of bitter cold, began in Kashmir on Wednesday night, marking the coldest night of the season in Srinagar. Srinagar recorded a minimum temperature of -5.5 degrees Celsius, the lowest of the season so far. Pipelines of Dal Lake that supply water to many places in the valley were frozen. A thick layer of frost was also visible over the lake. Pahalgam, one of the base camps for the annual Amarnath Yatra, recorded a minimum temperature of -6.8 degrees Celsius and was the coldest place in the valley. The Met Department has forecast dry weather in Jammu and Kashmir till 24th of December. There may be rain or light snowfall in some parts of Kashmir around Christmas. And a look now at some more news from across the nation. With state-owned Coal India Limited not buying out any of the coal blocks abroad at present, a parliamentary panel on Thursday said the PSU can still pursue overseas acquisition of mines after detailed study and analysis of the blocks, especially low-ash coking coal. The committee said this will not only reduce import of fossil fuel but also open new avenues of mining abroad. The Karnataka Assembly unanimously passed a resolution on the border issue with Maharashtra and resolved to protect the interests of the state. The resolution condemned the manufactured border dispute by Maharashtra. India, China and Russia abstained in the UNSC on a draft resolution that demanded an immediate end to violence in Myanmar and urged the military junta to release political prisoners, including State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi. The 15-nation Security Council, under India's presidency this month, adopted the resolution after 12 members voted in favour. Seeking to deepen India-US military ties, the defence chiefs of the two countries discussed ways to deepen bilateral cooperation and interoperability. The phone call between Chief of the Indian Defence Force and US Joint Chiefs of Staff took place amid increased tensions along the India-China border. And time now for a very short break in the bulletin. Lots more coming up on the other side. Do stay tuned.
भारत संपूर्ण विश्व में नेतृत्व की भूमिका निभाएगा।
G20 is going to be a very important occasion.
This is also beneficial to the state.
How the act is related to the constitution amendment.
क्षमता और कार्य के हिसाब से लोगों को मौका मिलता है।
आपको हम अपनी ओर से पूरा सहयोग देंगे।
इस स्कीम में कितना पैसा देने का योजना बनाया ये बताइए।
अगर एनुअल देखा जाए तो 37,845।
I think being bold enough to accept that the standing committee has made an improvement on the original bill.
Welcome back. A look now at latest developments from the conflict zone of Russia and Ukraine. Many countries displayed support for Ukraine following a call from Ukrainian President Zelensky on Wednesday. The hashtag Light Up Ukraine initiative was marked in cities across the world with iconic buildings and monuments turning off their lights in support of Kiev. Let's find out more.
European Parliament buildings in Brussels went dark on Wednesday as part of a global campaign in support of Ukraine. Lights were switched off at several of the Parliament's buildings to show solidarity with Ukraine, which is experiencing huge power outages as Russia strikes key energy infrastructure. Paris City Hall turned off its lights for 15 minutes as part of the Light Up Ukraine initiative launched by United 24 fundraising platform. The building has been lit in blue and yellow, the colors of the Ukrainian flag. The Niagara Falls in Canada was also plunged into darkness on Wednesday night. After a period of darkness, the falls were lit up in blue and yellow, the colors of the Ukrainian flag. In the US, lights on New York's iconic Rockefeller Center's Christmas tree were turned off as part of the global fundraiser to raise money to help buy generators for hospitals across Ukraine. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And time now to take a look at our World Wrap segment. Women protested in Afghanistan capital Kabul on Thursday after the Taliban had halted university education for females. Condemnation of the ban decision also poured in from Muslim-majority countries, Turkey and Saudi Arabia. Domestic opposition to the ban also came from many Afghan cricketers. Earlier this week, the Taliban had ordered women nationwide to stop attending private and public universities. Japan adopted a new policy promoting greater use of nuclear energy to ensure a stable power supply amid global fuel shortages. It marks a major reversal of its phase-out plan following the Fukushima crisis. The new policy says that Japan must maximize the use of existing nuclear reactors by restarting as many of them as possible. It also calls for prolonging the operating life of old reactors beyond their 60-year limit and develop next-generation reactors to replace them. 2 soldiers were killed and 3 injured in an explosion in northern Iraq. The soldiers were traveling in an army vehicle on Wednesday when an explosive device detonated. No group immediately claimed responsibility for the attack. It was the latest in a string of similar incidents in recent days. 8 people were killed and 3 injured on Monday in an attack by gunmen in a village previously held by the Islamic State terrorist group. Taiwan's defense ministry claimed that China's military sent 39 planes and 3 ships toward Taiwan in a 24-hour display of force directed at the island. 30 of the Chinese planes reportedly crossed the median of the Taiwan Strait between Wednesday and Thursday. The planes flew to the island's southwest and then to the southeastern side before doubling back, according to Taiwan. Croatia will begin the new year fully integrating with the world's richest nations in an historic achievement 3 decades since the country split from former Yugoslavia. On the 1st of January this year, Croatia will join the free movement Schengen zone, where most European Union citizens are not subject to passport checks. It will become the 20th country to replace its national currency with a common euro. Croatia joined the EU in 2013. Now, Ukrainian President Zelensky unfurled the Ukrainian flag at the conclusion of his speech before a joint meeting of the US Congress. As he presented the flag to US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Pelosi presented him with a flag that flew over the US Capitol. And in his speech, Zelensky stressed that Russia has been using Iranian drones to attack his country. He said that there will be no compromises in trying to bring an end to the war. President Joe Biden and Congress have responded with billions of dollars in new assistance and a pledge to help Ukraine pursue a just peace. Biden welcomed Zelensky to the Oval Office on Wednesday, saying that the United States and Ukraine will continue to project a unified defense against Russia. Now, in a new study, scientists claim to have uncovered details about the reason behind loss of smell continuing as part of long COVID symptoms. A team of scientists from Duke University, United States, said that the reason that some people fail to recover their sense of smell after COVID-19 is linked to an ongoing immune assault on olfactory nerve cells and an associated decline in the number of those cells. The findings have been published in the journal Science Translational Medicine and provide an important insight into a problem that has plagued millions who have not yet fully recovered their sense of smell after COVID-19. The findings also shed light on the possible underlying causes of other long COVID-19 symptoms, including generalized fatigue, shortness of breath, brain fog that might be triggered by similar biological mechanisms. Now, the Sri Lankan Navy has arrested 12 Indian fishermen and seized their trawlers for allegedly poaching in the country's territorial waters. The fishermen were arrested near northern Jaffna on Wednesday, the Sri Lanka Navy said in a statement. The Sri Lanka Navy arrested 264 Indian fishermen and seized 36 trawlers this year. And time now to take a look at the most interesting developments from the world of sports. India bowled out Bangladesh for 227 in the first innings of the second test being played at Mirpur. India ended day 1 at 19 for no loss, trailing by 208. Pacer Umesh Yadav and off-spinner R. Ashwin are India's star performers of the day. Both Umesh and Ashwin take 4 wickets each. Pakistan Prime Minister sacks Ramiz Raza as PCB chairman, replaces him with Najam Sethi. IPL Auction 2023 to be conducted tomorrow at Kochi in Kerala. All 10 franchises to make their moves to complete their teams ahead of the tournament next year. And left-arm spinner Shams Mulani takes 11 wickets in the match as Mumbai defeat Hyderabad by an innings and 217 runs in Ranji Trophy Elite Group B match. And with that, it's a wrap of the bulletin this evening. Do stay tuned to Sansad TV for more news and updates. Do also share your feedback with us on our social media sites. Thank you for being here. Good night.